Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome back to a video of Coral Island. Now this game was just released a few days ago and it has taken the Stardew Valley community and many farming simulator communities by storm. So I said to myself, well, let's buy the game, let's sit down and play it, and let's release a video to show everyone what the game is all about. So this is a first impressions video and I'm just going to show you the highlights of what you can actually do in this game. So when we first get to the island, we are greeted by Connor, and Connor here is the mayor, very similar to Mayor Lewis from Stardew Valley. And the first thing Connor is going to do here is introduce us to the town carpenters, and he's also going to bring us to our lovely house / farm. So on Coral Island we have a farm, and on this farm we can raise crops from the ground, we can even have animals, and we can do most of the things that you can actually do in games like Stardew Valley. We can even go fishing, and there's a few extra mechanics too in the game, such as diving. There's also the mines that opens up on day 5, where you go in and you get a checkpoint every 5 levels you go, so the deeper you go in the mines, the better resources you get. Anyway, let's go back to day number 1 here. When you first start out, you have your usual rag and tag farm, and it's filled up to the top with resources for you to harvest. So you've got wood, you've got stone, you've also got trash on your farm, and trash is a resource in this game that can be used to make lots of different items. So if you pick up trash, don't throw it away or sell it. You actually need it to make things like the makeshift chest, which is basically your regular chest that you can use to store items in. And you can place these chests or any items you make all over your farm anywhere you want. As we can see here now, we're also getting things like glass. Also our inventory is limited, but we can purchase bigger bags inside Sam's general store, which we'll visit later on. So I just placed the chest there now. We're going to fill this up with items. We've got compost, coal, we've got bits and bobs from cutting down trees here as well. So the game uses an energy counter similar to Stardew Valley, where any sort of farming activity you do will reduce your stamina bar. If you deplete your stamina bar, you will simply go unconscious and wake up the next day with a penalty to your energy. You can also make lots of stuff in the game, and the more you use your professions, just like Stardew Valley, the more experience you get with that profession, the more you level it up. And when you level up your professions in this game, you can learn new crafting recipes along the way. The first quest you're given to do in this game is to upgrade your house by just going to the carpenters here and giving them some wood and some stone. So we're just going to visit the carpenter here now, and we're just going to give her some wood and some stone for our first house upgrade. So it's not really an upgrade, it's more of a repair. And what they'll do is they'll actually put a television into our house. So this is Dinda, and she is similar to Robin from Stardew Valley, where she is the town's main carpenter. And you can get her to upgrade your house, and you can get her to make decorations and all sorts of stuff for you. So when the first upgrade is done, you'll have access to the telly, and we even have the lovely weather forecast. And this will tell you if the next day is going to be a sunny day or a rainy day. So just like Stardew Valley, if it's a rainy day, you don't have to water your crops at all. You can just go out and do other stuff. You're also given a quest to get acquainted with all of the lovely villagers of Coral Island, and there's many villagers in this game. There's at least over 30 villagers that you can interact with. Each villager has obviously a house they live in, and look at the level of detail in these houses. It is absolutely amazing. The best way I can describe this game so far is that it is basically a futuristic version of Stardew Valley. It incorporates most of the same mechanics, including farming, foraging, mining, combat, fishing, with extras, but the graphics are just much better. The graphics are actually similar to that of Sims, if you ever played The Sims before. So we're just on the beach here now at the moment, and as we can see, there's trash all over the place, and we'll try to clean that up as best we can. We can also rummage the trash cans besides people's houses, and we get items from the trash cans too. Another feature that this game's come with is catching bugs and critters with your net that we'll get in the next few days from an NPC down by the shack in the beach. So it's day number 2 here now, and we start by watering crops. And as we can see, the watering mechanic is very similar to that of Stardew Valley. And once we've all these crops watered, we can go off then and we can do whatever we wish. We're also going to visit Sam, and Sam is basically the equivalent of Pierre in Stardew Valley, where this is where you go to purchase your seeds, this is where you go to purchase your backpack upgrades, and to purchase other cool items. So Connor just introduces us to Sam here now, and Sam says, "It's a pleasure to meet you, welcome to the general store." So you do start the game with some money, and as we can see here, Sam's got a huge assortment of seeds, daisy seeds, turnips, potatoes, carrots, cauliflowers. Some are very similar to the seeds you can get in Stardew Valley, with some extra new ones of course. Like the carrots is a nice addition, I think. That's quite nice. I don't think you can get carrots in Stardew Valley. The daisies is nice as well. He also has grass starter if we need some fibre later on in the game. He also has sugar, wheat flour and bread if we get into the mood to make some lovely recipes in the game. So what I normally do here now is I have a lot of money here. Well, for me it's a lot because I'm new to the game, but it's always worth buying a couple of crops at the start and selling them just to see how much each crop will actually give you. So I do purchase a few of each crop just to kind of test the grounds, just to see, you know, is there any sort of super crop for spring in this game? This game is like Stardew Valley in terms of it has 4 seasons. It has spring, summer, fall and winter, and there's 28 days in each season, so the cycles are very similar. So I've just hoed up some more ground here now, and we're going to plant these lovely seeds, then we're going to water them. And of course, if the watering can gets low on water, we've got some water sources around the farm that will allow us to fill the watering can back up, no problem at all. And of course, all these crops will take a few days to grow. So the first thing I noticed when I played this game is I got serious Stardew Valley vibes. And even though the game is early access, it is quite polished for an early access game. So if you're on the bench about whether you should pick up the game or not, for €25, I can comfortably say it is definitely worth your time. If you have a PC, pick the game up and enjoy it. As we can see here now, I'm running around the map and I'm picking up forageables. Let's check the weather for tomorrow to see what kind of day we're going to get. Tomorrow is going to be rainy, so it looks like day 3 is a rainy day, similar to that of Stardew Valley. So it looks like they've taken the skeleton from Stardew Valley and incorporated it into this game, which is amazing. We get level 1 foraging by the end of today, and we make 350 gold. Now I'm calling it gold, but the currency could be called something else. But it's basically just an assortment of forageables that I've sold. I also got a cricket too with the net. So I'm down on the beach today, I'm picking up purple crowy shells on the beach. And as you can see there's lots of like those oily tentacles on the beach. That's part of the main story, we need to get rid of those. But we'll get more into that later on in the game. So I'm now down at this shack here on the beach, and this is Eleanor, and that's her husband Sonny, and they're going to give me a net and a fishing rod, which opens up the critter catching minigame and the fishing minigame in this game. And the fishing is very nice, it's very pleasant, not as difficult as the fishing in Stardew Valley, you'll be happy to hear. And the bug catching is very similar to the likes of Dinkum and other games like that, where you just have to get in range of the critter, swipe it with the net and you collect it. And what you can do then with the critters is you can sell them, or I think you can actually give them into someone too for collectibles later on. So Sonny and Eleanor are going to give us our lovely starting tools. Now we can go back there and purchase better versions of those tools later on once we accumulate a little bit more money. So the shack here is the place to go for your fishing and net needs. So the game so far has a huge assortment of fish, and what you see here now is the fishing minigame. So as we can see, we basically need to spam left click, but if the bar gets too high like that, we need to release it, otherwise we'll strain the line and the fish will escape. So when the fish goes hyper like that, we just simply have to let go of the left click, and when the fish calms down, we just have to press it again, and it's basically rinse and repeat until that bar gets up to the very top, and then we will catch lovely fish. Let's see what fish we are going to catch today. So there's a huge assortment of fish you can get in spring, of course. There's a huge assortment of fish in the game. We get the blue tang today, and there's also other fish you can get too, like mackerel, and there's some sort of a fish called the frogfish, I think it's called, that I got once. And this is the net. So as we can see here, there's a critter on the ground. Let's grab it now with the net. There we go, and that is a snail for us. So that gets added to a journal where we can open up the journal and learn all about the snail of Coral Island. So there's also a protest going on here, and a big bad company has moved into town. They're called the Pufferfish Company, and to put it to you simply, it's basically the equivalent of Joja from Stardew Valley. They're a company that's moved into the island. People aren't too excited about their stay. The mayor wants them gone. So what they're saying here is that Pufferfish isn't here to do anything destructive. People are blaming them for the oil spill that happened last year, because there's oil all over the island, and one of our main duties in this game is to get rid of the oil, and we'll do that in the next few days through a new minigame called diving, which is really cool. It's just another minigame that they added to this. So as we can see here now, we have a little bit of a conversation here between the manager, Pufferfish, and myself. Gamer Gar, right? So that is Karen, and she basically represents Morris, like, you know, Stardew Valley. Oh, I know you. Pleased to make your acquaintance. No need to be confused. You don't know me, and we don't want to know you, Karen. We want to go the community center route in this playthrough. Gamer Gar, the island is dying. We both know it. These people are just in denial. We should just make the best of it. And that's what we're going to do, Karen. We are going to clean up this island. We're going to get rid of all the oil around the island. And we're not going to try to help the Pufferfish Company at all. So we have a new quest here after we've greeted all of the NPCs, is to gift 5 gifts in total to each of the NPCs. Now what I've done here is I obviously don't know at the moment who loves what, so I just picked up foraged items here and I just gifted them to all the NPCs when I saw one, just to complete the quest. You'll also notice too that I have a treasure chest in my inventory. They're basically like geodes from Stardew Valley. We can go to the blacksmith where we can upgrade tools, but we can also get the blacksmith to break open those coffers as well, and we can get artifacts inside. And guess what we can do with the artifacts? That's right, this game has a museum, and we can put the artifacts into the museum, and obviously the more artifacts you put in there, the more prizes that you get. But that's not all. The game has so much more to offer. It has other features that add more content to the game that Stardew Valley doesn't even have. The first backpack upgrade from Sam costs 500 gold here, and I recommend that you get this as quickly as possible because it's very cheap, especially if you look at the next cost for the backpack upgrade. It goes up to 3,500 gold. So if you can muster 500 gold together, do yourself a favour and prioritise the backpack upgrade, because the extra few slots are so handy, especially if you're running around the island, if you're exploring, if you're picking things up. You don't want to be throwing things away, especially if you're like me, if you're new to the game and you could be throwing something away that's super valuable. So we're going to buy more crops off Sam today, and we're just trying to incorporate a nice sizable farm with crops. Now this game has everything you can think of. It has sprinklers, it has recycling machines, it has so many things that you can build to make your life easier. It has furnaces for smelting bars. So as we can see here now, our farm has gotten a little bit bigger. We've got a lot of crops planted there too, and we're just going to go ahead now and cut down a couple of trees. And I really like the mechanics in this game where your character cuts and mines and forages. It's really nice. It's also very fluid. Mark visits us too on day 5 and he says, "Oh, you're the new farmer. The mine northwest of here is open." So this is basically the introduction of the mines in this game. It's very similar to the mines of Stardew Valley, where you go in, a cutscene activates, we'll be given a weapon. So all you need is a weapon and a pickaxe, of course, to get started. But I do recommend you come in here with lots of food, because there are enemies in the mines, such as slimes and spiders that will damage you, but also you will lose stamina when you break open the rocks and try to get deeper. So Akira gives us a basic weapon here, a sword, just to get us started. And every time you get down 5 levels, you'll activate the lift, similar to that of Stardew Valley. Now I haven't gotten super far in the mines yet because there's so much to do in the game, but I'm just going to show you a few levels here of the mines just to show you what it's like. So as we can see, we've got loads of different stone types, and these are all just regular stones, and you can break those open in one strike. And if you get a hole like that, you go down 1 level. Now when I say hole, don't think of the skull cavern holes. These holes just bring you down 1 level. There's also crates here too that we can just break open like that, and sometimes you can get some goodies out of the crates. And what we see here now is our first enemy, which is a slime. So let's show you the combat mechanics of this game. So it's very nice. Basically you just equip the sword and you just push left click to attack, and you just gotta dodge those glops that the slime spits out at you because they'll damage you. Now we haven't found any sort of ores yet, but we will find ores very soon. At the moment we're just getting stone and we're getting coal. So I made it down to floor 5 here now at the moment. And as you can see there's a crack in the ground. If we hit that crack, more cracks reveal themselves. If we follow the pattern, eventually we're going to get some goodies. So this is a nice little minigame that they incorporated into the mining aspect of Coral Island, which is really cool. So we just got loads of bronze ores there, and that's equivalent to copper ore in Stardew Valley, the bronze. There's also a special rock there with a green mineral coming out of it. Let's break that open and see what we get. So I just got a cool fire agate there, which is really cool. And here then we have bronze ores, which are similar to the copper ores in Stardew Valley. And these take a few strikes to open. And as we can see there now, our stamina is getting really low. But we have some food we can take to replenish our energy. So I suppose what you want to do when you start is you want to get enough bronze ores together and stone together so you can make a furnace. And what will happen is that an NPC will now visit us tomorrow and give us the recipe for the furnace because we've collected some bronze ore. Very similar to that of Stardew Valley. We also got a geode here too, and you can probably guess what you can do with those. You can bring those to the blacksmith. This is a new enemy type. This is a spider. And these spiders like to charge at you, which do damage. But they're not too bad to fight. And we just have more bronze ores here. So this is more or less kind of as far as I got, you know, at the starter levels of the mines. I'm sure when you get down into the middle levels, it's going to be some sort of iron ore that you'll get, and then maybe gold ore when you get down into the later levels. So it's very exciting, especially to do it for the first time, because it's all new, you know? And if you're like me, if you've played Stardew Valley over the years, sometimes it gets a bit boring because you know exactly what to expect. Especially even if you're doing challenge runs, you know what's going to happen when you get to floor 100 in the mines. You know where all the star drops are, but this game is just fresh. It's like Stardew Valley just got a new coat of paint. And I like it, I like the colours. So as we can see here now, we're still in the mines, breaking up some rocks, and you can spend your whole day here. Now one thing to note with this game is that if it gets too late, just like Stardew Valley, your character will pass out. But you're not given until 2 in the morning, you're actually given until 1 o'clock in the morning. If you're not back in bed by 1, your character will just pass out. So you got to be super careful, and you got to make sure that you're back in your bed before 1, or you will take penalties the next day. You could even be charged too, you know, from the chemists. If you're found out in the wilderness at night. So that is Pablo. He is the local blacksmith, and he is going to give us a recipe for the furnace, which will allow us to craft bars. We can then use the bars to upgrade our tools and to do other things as well in the game. So he's very similar to Clint. So one of the greatest things I like about this game is if you're an experienced Stardew Valley player, you'll actually find that you'll hit the ground running with this game, because a lot of it is new, but a lot of it will also seem familiar to you. So I just made the, I'm just going to make the furnace. You have to place it outside, you can't actually put it inside the house. And I just need a couple of ores to put into that and some coal. And what's great about the furnace is you can stack it up. So I can put a maximum resources in there where it'll conjure up 5 bars for me over time. You don't have to put in 1 bar each time. So I like that about this game, which it just means you don't have to make hundreds of furnaces, you know, if you're looking to get tons of resources quickly. So this is another NPC of the game. His name is Ben, and he has some nice items here for us. He has a stamina fruit. Now it costs almost 40,000 gold, and I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong though, but I'm pretty sure this is similar to a star fruit from Stardew Valley, where if I buy this and eat it, it will increase my maximum stamina. And he has other stuff too, like he has a cool looking scarecrow, which we actually need to build very soon to scare off the crows from eating all our crops. So this game does have crows, and they will eat your crops if you don't put one down. So once you get level 1 in farming, make sure you make your lovely scarecrow. So this is a new mechanic of farming simulation games. Well, it's a mechanic in this game, of course. They don't have it in Stardew Valley, not yet anyway. And it is diving. So we start off by talking to Lynn, and she's saying basically, you know, there's oil all over the island. There was an oil spillage. It's wrecking the beach. It's not good for the environment. We need to clean it up. So we do what's called a diving minigame. Try to help with that. So what we're going to get now is a diving suit in the next minute or so. And we can then just simply talk to NPC. We dive into the water, and the diving minigame begins. And it's really cool because there's lots of stuff you can collect under the water as well. So Link says, thanks for showing up. We say no problem at all, and let's get on with the diving adventure. Here's the deal, you need a diving suit to get into the water, and I need the right someone to do it. For now, let's do an exchange. If you can activate 5 solar orbs in the ocean, you can keep the diving suit. Ooh, sounds good. Here's what a solar orb looks like. You'll want to bring your sight to clear trash because the orbs are more than likely under the trash. So what we're doing here now is we're basically looking for solar orbs, and when we find a solar orb, it's going to go into that machine there behind us, and that will basically clear the oil around this area, and we need to do this 5 times to complete the first diving minigame in this zone. When that minigame is completed, you will unlock minigames for other zones around the map. Now I haven't completed the other zones yet, I've just completed this one. But as we can see, when the orb goes into the machine, you have to clear a path for it, so it can clear the nasty oil in this area. And that's what it's going to do now. So it's now reached this destination. That beacon will now activate and it will clear the oil in this area. So there's actually really nice items you can get down here. You can get kelp down here, which is nice. You can use that in recipes. There's also forageables you can get down here as well, which gives you nice energy. There's critters down here I believe you can catch with your net. And there's treasure chests down here, there's coffers, there's loads of stuff you can get down here. You could spend your whole day down here exploring and, you know, just trying to get rid of all the trash and getting good items out of it. So the diving minigame is super fun. So here's just another example now of a pylon being powered up. And we just have to clear away a path for it. So you just have to do this 5 times, and that is basically the diving minigame. Now I don't know if it gets more advanced than this, but I do like it, and I think it's amazing. I think this game is amazing. And this is the first Coral Island video that I've done, but I will probably do some more videos if people like this kind of thing, because the game is very similar to Stardew Valley. So I think the majority of my subscribers will like videos like this. So as we can see here now, we're just helping this this light get to where it needs to go. And we just got to watch out for our energy too. Now the great thing about this game is, even though the energy goes down very quickly, there's stuff littered all over the map that will give you energy. There's forageables all over the place. That's what I like about this game. So it's not like you wake up in the morning, cut down a few trees, water a few crops, and you're done for the day. There's enough in the game to keep you going throughout the day if you want to do lots of activities. So a new NPC visits us today. His name is Surya. That feels weird, calling Dr. Jiang Ling. Well, she insisted. Anyway, she said you went diving. I said I love it. So he's going to give us a recipe. And it's to turn kelp that we collect into kelp extract. And if we give him the kelp extract, he can basically give us power-ups to, you know, to various features in this game. For example, crops, you know, like we can get higher quality crops, for example, when we put crops up out of the ground. So, you know, it's a nice way to make more money in the game. And it's also an incentive to go diving all the time, to stock up on kelp so you can make kelp extract, so you can trade into that NPC to get lots of items back. So what we see here now is kelp, and that's bronze kelp. Now I think you can get other different types of kelp too, but bronze kelp is just the starter kelp because this is the starter area. But when we go to the more advanced diving areas later on, we'll be able to get more advanced kelp to make better kelp extracts. So it's just another nice feature of the game, just something else for us to do. And as we can see there, ornate coffers, they seem to just pop out of the ground when you're clearing away the trash, which is nice. And look at all the stuff we can make. This is a makeshift fence that I just made here. So we can decorate up the farm to our heart's content. The more skill ups we get in various professions, the more recipes we can learn. And this is the extractor now that I'm just going to make, and we can use this now to make the kelp extract that we need to unlock some nice powerful perks. It's also worth noting too that every time you get a level up in any of your professions, you get a few points to your maximum stamina. So it is very important to try to level up as many professions as possible in the game, especially early on, to make the most out of your stamina gauge, because stamina seems to be a lot more important in this game than it is in Stardew Valley. Because I find that you lose it a lot faster, it goes down a lot faster. So it's something you want to kind of increase to the best of your ability all the time. So what's handy here now is that we have a rainy day today, so we don't have to water the crops. But look how big the farm is. So this is all just grass that we're getting fibre from. We've got loads of trees on the farm. There's also trash on the farm, stone on the farm. You'll also notice that there's certain resources on the farm that we can't actually harvest yet because we have to upgrade our tools. And these will be like, you know, bigger versions of the rocks that we can't break open yet. Certain tree stumps we can't actually break open yet because we have to get some upgrades. So the extractor there says that we need 10 kelp and a glass to actually, you know, get that to make an item for us. When our stamina gets really low, the screen turns a bit grey. It's just a warning. It's just a game letting you know that your character is extremely fatigued. If we kept going and kept using our stamina, our character would just simply lose consciousness. So that basically sums up the Coral Island game. Just so I'd show you some of the starter mechanics of the game. I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know if you want to see me do some tips videos maybe, or maybe a 100-day video, and I can do that for you, no problem. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.